So unless you've been stuck under David Coulthard's massive chin this year, you'll have heard about all the driver transfers that happened back in May. But if you haven't, let me give you a quick rundown. It all began when the strategy gods themselves, Ferrari, decided to yeet Sebastian Vettel out of Maranello quicker than Romain Grosjean's 2012 Grand Prix endeavours. They then chose to split up the romantic duo of Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris at McLaren, hiring Sainz to the team for 2021, which at the time looked like a good move. Oh, how wrong we were. Anyway, while Ferrari resorted to this, McLaren were able to snap up Renault driver Daniel Ricciardo for next year's campaign, and it's this pairing with Lando Norris that I want to delve into a little bit more today. Hey there guys, and welcome to FP1, and today I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the McLaren F1 team. Go back just over a decade then, the team were on a high, with Lewis Hamilton and his then receding hairline taking top honours in 2008, while destroying all the hopes and dreams of every Brazilian and Ferrari F1 fan in the process. The team would also take wins in every season from then until 2013. However, after falling away at the start of the turbo hybrid era, they thought, you know what, we've got the strongest engine on the grid right now. How about we ditch that and take this brand new engine designed by the guys at Honda? They were good like 30 years ago, right? So McLaren took on Honda for 2015, in a relationship comparable to Nikita Mazepin's bond with the FIA place markers. And really, the team haven't managed to return to its former glory since. But is that starting to change? Now, I'll be honest, when McLaren announced that they would be switching from Honda to Renault in 2018, which at the time was like switching from horse to dog I was a little bit concerned. However, after a consistent 2019 season where they managed to finish 4th, and now an even stronger 2020 campaign, are we actually onto something here? Lando and Carlos are probably one of the strongest teammate pairings on the grid, not necessarily down to their raw speed, but more due to their relationship off-track. And that's something that McLaren have done very well in the past. Their drivers do work incredibly well together. Think Jenson Button and Fernando Alonso, or Button and Hamilton. In fact, I can't really think of a teammate pairing that's not got along at McLaren in recent times. Oh wait, hang on. But on a more serious note, we've seen the great off-track relationship between Carlos and Lando translate into incredible respect on-track as well. Take the first race of the season for instance, where both McLarens were running high up with Sainz running ahead of a faster Norris. The two fought close and hard, but Carlos did give up the place to Lando whilst not holding the young Brit up. And this of course led to Lando fighting through to his first F1 podium at the end of the race. You see, it's this sort of on-track relationship which has led to McLaren continuing to score consistently, as they now sit 3rd in the constructors' standings as of time of recording. But that of course all changes next year, with Honey Badger Daniel Ricciardo joining the team. So are these guys the pairing that will take the team to the next level and race-winning glory? Let's delve into it. So let's look at Daniel Ricciardo's career in a little bit more detail first. The Aussie is currently in his 10th season of Formula 1, starting his career back in 2011 when he replaced one of the true legends of the sport, in Narain Arthur Kane. Bruh. Since then though, Daniel has gone on to take 7 race wins with Red Bull, and it's this experience that McLaren have kind of lacked for a long time now. Though Sainz is now an experienced hand in Formula 1, he's never found himself in the top car, and still won't next year. Ricciardo, meanwhile, has fresh experience on how a top team operates from his time at Red Bull, and it's that information that can really help McLaren going forward. And in addition, he can also help mentor Lando Norris, who still remembers only in his 2nd season of Formula 1, and looking set to be one of the stars of the future. Ricciardo, though driven, is also a great person to have around the factory, with his outgoing personality improving team morale. His signing alone will likely already have had an effect at the McLaren factory, with him being the first race winner to drive for the team since old Lando here in 2018. And though Daniel has had issues with teammates in the past, Verstappen, him and Norris appear, from the outside at least, to have a very good relationship with one another. Now, this could all change if the team starts getting in the position to win races and championships, but we'll have to kind of wait and see on that one. Now let's take a minute to discuss Lando Norris as well. The young Brit will be entering his 3rd season of Formula 1 in 2021, and besides his streaming and hornet-killing adventures, he's slowly building up his confidence and forming that McLaren F1 car. This year, he currently lies on 65 points, which is already 16 more than his entire total from his 2019 debut season. Now, if that momentum can continue to build over the coming months and years, then we could honestly be seeing a future race winner and world champion in the making here. And to be clear, I'm not just saying that so not to be hunted down and killed by the Lando Norris fandom. There could genuinely be something here. So moving on from the drivers then, let's have a look at the team itself. Since Zak Brown took control of the team over from professional grumpy man Ron Dennis, we've seen their fortunes turn around significantly. The team has also undergone significant restructurings at the top, with ex-Ferrari man Andrea Stella now in the racing director role, and more recently Andrea Seidel and James Key being appointed to team principal and technical director respectively. In other words, the team now has a lot of experience behind it, and though all constructors have taken a bit of a hit in this current situation, McLaren have fought through to the other side. Now, yeah, go back a few months and things weren't looking particularly rosy, however the team now looks like they're in a much stronger position, and their recent raft of technical upgrades coming to the MCL 35 is proof of this. Now, the other important aspect of this, of course, is the engine. Now, about this time last year, McLaren told Renault to go and do one, signing a contract with Mercedes to use their engines from 2021. And now Ferrari have been stopped from taking advantage of a loophole that gives McLaren arguably the best power unit on the grid. Now, if we combine this with their already impressive pace this year, that will surely produce a dangerous package for 2021, right? Well, not necessarily. You see, switching engine isn't just as simple as unplugging the old one and chucking in the new one. All engines come in different shapes and sizes, and usually the entire rear of the car needs to be redesigned in order to accommodate the new design. In fact, sticking with McLaren and going back to their interesting Honda days, we've seen how this doesn't work. In 2017, McLaren's integration of their Honda engine was so bad the car literally shook itself apart. But they've learnt the lesson from that, so what's the issue now then? Well, given the current situation that we're in, the teams and the FIA have decided to push back the new technical regulations from 2021 to 2022, and at the same time freeze several areas of the 2020 cars, meaning they can't be further improved and have to stay the same until the new regs come in. Now, you may have figured this out already, but one of those frozen areas happens to be the rear packaging of the car. And though for most teams this isn't an issue, with McLaren switching from Renault to Mercedes next year, this poses a fairly substantial problem. The team have been given permission by the FIA to adjust the design to meet the requirements of the new engine. However, they won't be allowed to make any unnecessary changes that could grant performance gains in other ways. What this basically means is that the design will only be allowed to be changed slightly in some areas, and therefore we'll likely have to see compromises to be made from an aerodynamic standpoint. The other teams will likely be keeping their eyes closely peeled on this as well. If McLaren come out the blocks in 2021 with a massive pace advantage over their midfield rivals, expect the likes of Ferrari, Aston Martin, and professional complainers Renault to be on this one quicker than it takes Red Bull to fire one of its junior drivers. So the Mercedes engine may be both a blessing and a curse for the McLaren team, though realistically their main ambition will be closing the gap more in 2022, when design is once again freed up and the aerodynamicists can go ham. So let's finish by looking back at the question in the title then. Can Norris and Ricciardo take McLaren back to former glory? And the answer is, well, probably. McLaren now look to be in their strongest position in years, and though a portion of that is down to the two drivers, it actually stems a lot further into the heart of the organisation itself. This puts Norris and Ricciardo in the prime position to take advantage of all this, and though I don't think we'll see any wins next year, come 2022, don't be surprised to see McLaren up at the top, fighting with the rest of the big teams on the grid. But again, we've been saying that about Ferrari for years now, and they're still utterly shit. So what do you guys think then? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below and we can get a good debate going. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, there is plenty more of this sort of stuff on the channel already, so don't go and give that a watch and subscribe for even more in the future. And if for whatever reason you want to hear even more from me, you can go and check out my Twitter as well. It's at FP1Will and all links to that will be down in the description below. But that's all from me today. I'll see you soon with another video, but until then, have a good one.